President Trump is dealing with more than just the Harvey aftermath. There is, of course, other news. Tonight, a new wrinkle to the investigation of Russian interference in the U.S. election. And it has to do with Mr. Trump's attempt to put his mark on Moscow. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts fills us in tonight.
The project, launched in September of 2015, was a gleaming hotel, office tower and residence that would dominate the Moscow skyline. At the center of the proposal, Trump Organization attorney Michael Cohen and deal broker Felix Sater, who would act as liaison between the Trump Organization and the Russian government, which would have to grant permits for the project. November 3rd, 2015, Sater sent an email to Cohen bragging the project would be a boon to then-candidate Donald Trump. Sater writing, quote, "Our boy can become president of the USA and we can engineer it. I will get all of Putin's team to buy in on this. I will manage this process." In a letter to congressional investigators yesterday, Cohen laid out the timetable for the project, saying by late January 2016 it became apparent, quote, the proposal wasn't feasible and, quote, should not be pursued any further. Cohen also said Sater, whom he has known for several decades, quote, has sometimes used colorful language and has been prone to salesmanship. President Trump said repeatedly he had no business dealings with Russia.
Can you say unequivocally that Russia has no business in you?
No, I have nothing to do with Russia. I know nothing about the inner workings of Russia. I don't deal there. I own nothing in Russia. A lot of people thought I owned office buildings in Moscow. I don't have property in Russia.
What the president said at the time he said it did not appear to contradict the timeline of the Trump Tower Moscow project. An attorney for the president also points out the project never got beyond a letter of intent and that there was never any kind of business deal signed with Russian entities. But it wasn't for lack of trying. In mid-January 2016, when it was apparent the project was stalled, Cohen sent an email to Vladimir Putin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. In the email obtained by Fox News, Cohen writes, quote, as this project is too important, I am hereby requesting your assistance. I respectfully request someone, preferably you, contact me so that I might discuss the specifics as well as arranging meetings with the appropriate individuals.
Now, Cohen did not know Peskov's personal email, so he simply sent his request to the Kremlin's General Press Inquiry's email address. He says less than 2 weeks later he decided to abandon the Trump Tower Moscow project. Doesn't ever recall hearing back from Peskov, nor did he ever try to contact Peskov or other Russian officials at any time after that. So attorneys who are close to Cohen are saying, well, that's evidence of anti-collusion if he didn't even know Peskov's personal email address.
On the investigation, we can report tonight that Donald Trump Jr. has agreed to talk to congressional investigators.
You'll remember that he was facing a subpoena back in July to appear before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and in much the same way that Jared Kushner spoke with the House and Senate Intelligence Committees. In an interview, he will sit down for a transcribed interview with the Senate Judiciary Committee. Brett, we don't yet know the date of that, but it looks like he's gotten away from a subpoena, at least, by saying, I'll sit down, we can talk with each other, and you can transcribe what I have to say for the record.
Okay, John, thank you.
Thanks.